I had gone to bed expecting an ordinary night. I never imagined it would be the one that unraveled everything I believed about myself, about love, and about the boundaries we swear we'll never cross. That night, all I meant to do was check on my son, Ethan, to whisper a soft goodnight and make sure he was asleep. But the moment I stepped into his room, it felt as if I'd opened a door into a world I wasn't prepared for. A world that would quietly challenge everything I thought I knew about who I was and what I deserved. The hallway was still, wrapped in the kind of silence that only settles after midnight. The faint glow from the bathroom light spilled across the wooden floor, revealing dust particles drifting lazily in the air. Every creak beneath my feet seemed too loud, too intrusive. It was supposed to be simple, a mother's nightly ritual. Lean in, fix the blanket, whisper, "Sleep well," and leave. That was all. But when I pushed open the door, my breath caught. It wasn't Ethan sitting on the bed. The figure there wasn't my son, not the little boy who used to beg me to chase away monsters, not the child whose laughter once filled every corner of this house. It was Tyler, Ethan's best friend since middle school. For a second, I couldn't move. His silhouette glowed faintly under the bedside lamp, his head turning toward me in slow motion. Our eyes met, and in that suspended heartbeat, I realized he wasn't the awkward teenager who used to raid my fridge after soccer practice. He wasn't a boy anymore. He was someone else entirely. He looked different, stronger, more grounded, and somehow more dangerous without even meaning to be. There was a quiet confidence in the way he stood, a subtle curve in his smile, and a calm intensity that pulled the air taut around us. "Ethan's asleep," he said softly, nodding toward the lump beneath the blanket. His tone was steady but carried an undercurrent, a smooth edge that felt both warm and daring. Something in his voice sent a faint shiver up my spine. I should have smiled, made some light comment, and walked away. But instead, I froze, caught in a current I couldn't quite name. The air between us seemed to hum, charged with something unspoken. When had he changed? His broad shoulders, the sharp line of his jaw, the careless fall of his dark hair. He was a stranger wearing the face of the boy who used to follow Ethan home with a backpack bouncing against his spine. He wasn't just older now. He was complete, fully present, self-assured. And in that realization, I became acutely aware of every inch of him, every quiet movement, every breath that filled the small space. "I thought you were Ethan," I whispered. The words trembling out of me, Tyler's lips lifted into a faint, almost shy smile. "Sorry if I startled you," he murmured. His voice was gentle, but it carried a warmth that lingered in the air between us. The timbre of it unsettled me, stirring feelings I hadn't felt in years. Feelings I didn't want to name. I told myself to leave. Every instinct screamed for me to turn around, close the door, and forget this moment. But my body betrayed me. My feet carried me forward, and before I could stop myself, I was by Ethan's bed, straightening the blanket that didn't need fixing, pretending to have a reason to stay in that charged, fragile space. Tyler's presence felt close, not overwhelming, not intrusive, just quietly there, pressing softly against the edges of my awareness. As I bent to smooth the blanket over my son, I could sense his gaze lingering. It wasn't possessive or bold. It was simply aware. A wordless recognition that I was more than a mother, more than the caretaker who moved through days of routines and responsibilities. "Long day?" I asked, breaking the silence, reaching for something, anything, to dissolve the tension curling between us. He chuckled softly, the sound low and warm, resonating in the small space. "Yeah," he said, pausing as if searching for the right words. "But this is nice." I swallowed hard. Did he mean it the way it sounded? My hands fumbled with a spare pillow I'd grabbed from the closet, needing something to hold, something to hide behind while my pulse thudded in my chest. "That's what moms do," I said lightly, forcing a laugh that felt brittle even to my own ears. "Make a place feel like home." Tyler's smile softened, a flicker of something almost sad touching his eyes. "Not everyone's that lucky," he murmured. Our eyes met, and something inside me shifted. A small, fragile crack in the walls I'd built to keep myself contained. Vulnerability slipped through, raw and uninvited. The silence between us stretched, heavy and fragile all at once, until I finally moved toward the door. That's when it happened. His hand brushed mine, tentative, respectful, almost accidental. But that single touch sent a shock through me, a heartbeat too powerful to ignore. My breath caught as my heart pounded, wild and unsteady, as if it might tear through my ribs. "Goodnight, Tyler," I whispered, pulling my hand away. Not in anger, not even resistance, just a desperate need to keep the line between us from blurring completely. Even hours later, lying in bed, I could still feel that fleeting touch burning against my skin, a whisper of something I wasn't ready to name.